Alright guys, before we get started, I can almost guarantee if you collect comic books, you have this book in your collection, but the thing is it the right one? So we're going to find out right now. Welcome back to the channel, Why Not Comics. Do you have a $1,000 comic book sitting in your collection and you didn't even know it? Well, let's find out. Alright guys, today we're going to talk about 5 comic books that might be a reprint, it might be a variant edition, and it might just be a 5th, 6th printing, or this might be an era edition. And some of these books might be in your collection. A lot of them probably are in your collection. Let's see if they're worth money. All right, so here we go, guys. Number 5 on the list is Superman. Number 18. I just recently picked this one up. This is a newsstand copy, but there's a 5th printing that's the one you want to pick up. That's the one that is worth some money. So check in your collection and check for the 5th printing, and that's gonna say DC Universe on it, and that's the one you want to grab. The DC Universe, that one's actually going for 50-60 bucks, and if it's a higher grade book, it's worth, see, this is a $15 book, but if it says DC Universe right here where the newsstand is, that's the one you want to grab. That's the one that's worth money. So check in your collection, see if you have it. This book you thought was $15-20, it's now worth $60 to $80, and if you get it graded, it's even worth probably $100-200. So depending on what grade it gets. So check in your collection. I'm sure everybody has first appearance of Doomsday, and see if it's a DC edition. All right, next on the list is going to be, all right, we got Batman number 457. This is the first appearance of Tim Drake as the new Robin. Now on this one, I want you to look and see if it's a newsstand, and it has to say on the very top, New Robin issue. Now that's the one that's worth money. This one's really hard to find, and just check and see if this one's one of these era editions that you could have in your collection that's worth a couple $100 or even more, closer to $1,000 depending on what grade you have. So that's a cool little book to look out for, and see if you're ever at a convention or a comic show to look and see if you have it in there, dig through them, and if you see Batman. So that's number 4 on the list. All right, guys, number 3 is going to be, we're going to talk about Spawn. All right, everybody knows about the newsstand number 1. If you've got a Spawn number 1 newsstand, it's worth a lot of money. And you open inside the first cover, it has, let me see if this one even has it. This one I just got out of a collection. We'll look and see if this one actually has it. So you look inside. This one's actually super clean. And you look at the logo. Right here, this is an era edition too. This is all supposed to be all white, but it's not. So this actually, believe it or not, is a super high grade. This is a 9.8 candidate, and it is an era edition. I'm not sure if CGC is going to recognize this as an era edition, but if you know anything about comic books and you know about Spawn, check it and see, and it's worth more money. Like I said, I'm not sure on CGC if they'll put that on the label or not, because I know they do the new Mark Jewelers, so check on them too. Check your books. If they're thicker books, they have a couple extra pages in it. It actually might be a Mark Jewelers. So yeah, everybody knows about the Spawn. If you don't, the newsstand is the one you want to pick up. And then inside, if it's the era edition, it's worth a little bit of money too. But the main book I'm talking about, you need 241. This is a very low print run. It actually says Angels of Death. Angel of Death, I mean. So it actually says Angel of Death. That's the one you want to get. There's different variant editions, but you want the one that actually says Angel of Death. It's bringing a little bit of money. It's around 200 bucks. And there's a lot of different Spawn ones. When they get higher in number, the higher issues, just be on the lookout for them. And if you're not sure, kind of look them up. But that's a really good one to try to pick up. Spawn number 241. This is a very low print run. So if you can find it for cheap, go ahead and grab it. If you find it at a comic convention or something, you probably can get this book for about 40 bucks. Put it online the next day and probably sell for $200. Triple your profit, and this is a way to kind of make some money. I know some people like to make some money. I know some people just straight reading comic books and they kind of, all they do is collect. So I like my collection to pay for itself. That's what I do. I buy stuff for cheap, I resell it, make some money, buy some bigger books that I want to pick up, go ahead and pick them up, and that way you don't have to work too hard, and everybody's happy, because when I get stuff for cheap, I give it to somebody else for cheap, or give them a good deal. That way, you know, like I said, there's room for them to make money, kind of pay it forward a little bit. We got 2 more on the list, and these 2 you don't want to miss. All right, this is second on the list. Everybody knows McFarlane, Spider-Man. Now, these are really good books to have. Almost everybody in the world has these books. If you're watching this video and you've seen the thumbnail, this is what I'm talking about right here. If you have this book in your collection, if you have the right one, I'm talking $1,000 or more. If you have the right one, we're looking for. I actually don't have it. I checked, and so I got one at my antique shop. It is a gold one. That's the one you want to look for. You want to look for the gold one, and if it has newsstand on the bottom, you got at least $500 to $1,000 depending on the grade. That's the one you need to see if you have. That's big money right there. If you're ever at a convention, or like I said, if you're ever at a convention or anywhere, a comic shop, check and see. If you find a gold newsstand, you got big money. One of my buddies actually got one on eBay about 3 weeks ago, and he actually picked up one for really cheap, and it was a newsstand, and he got it off on auction, and people wasn't paying no attention, and he snagged it for pretty cheap, and actually he just recently sold it. I think he made over like $600, so he did really good on that. So be on the lookout. They're out there still, and people's not really knowing about the newsstands. Newsstands can really trick you, and they actually can bring a lot of money. All right, we got one more book we're going to talk about, and a lot of collectors know about it, but if you're new to the game and you're just starting to collect and you're not sure what to pick up or what to look for, this is something highly on the list. This one's not even that old of a book. This book came out in 1991, and this is a book you really need to try to get in your mind, and once you see it once or twice, you'll know. I actually never seen one in the wild, and I've seen a couple even online. They're really hard to find. We got Bone #1. This is a Jeff Smith comic book, and it's actually a cartoon book. And if you want to look for a Bone, it has to have red writing. It has to say red Bone on it. It has to be in red writing. It'll say Bone, but it'll be in red writing. This came in 1991. Jeff Smith, and this one's actually worth a lot of money. Any grade, if you can find this at a collection, or if you can find this anywhere, you got over $1,000, and you're gonna be doing pretty good. So if you're on the hunt and you need to look for some books, try to find that one. They're very hard to find, very low print run, and just hard to get. So if you ever find somebody that has comic books, or that's why you always ask around and see if they have anything, and you might get lucky and snag a good one. Alright guys, that was the top 5 comic books to look out for, and if you have these books in your collection, you obviously know about them now, and see if you can make a little bit of money on them, or send them to CGC. If you have that gold one, that's one of the best books that I was talking about. That's the one you probably want to send to CGC if it's the newsstand edition. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the content, if this video helped you out any, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment down below if you have any of these books in your collection, and let me know if this video has helped you out, and if you like any of this content. Make sure, if you want to, you can subscribe, and thank you for checking out the channel. Y'all have a good one. Peace. They actually got some Avenger water, and believe it or not, they say if you drink it, you become an Avenger. So let's find out.